Hi, everyone, and welcome to this session on boundary making. It's a contemplation today. So, if you want, you can get a journal or you can just contemplate. It's totally up to you what you want out of the session today. So, boundaries and meditation and self awareness. I'll start with a quote by Melody Beattie. We can say what we need to say. We can gently but assertively speak our mind. We do not need to be judgmental, tactless, blaming, or cruel when we speak our thoughts. So let's invite compassion and care into our practice today. Hello, Catherine, and welcome to everyone who's watching now or in the future. So, healthy and wise boundary making can bring peace and ease into our relationships. So, let's settle with a few big breaths and start the contemplation meditation today. So, taking some big breaths. And just letting the body arrive. Noticing the sounds around you. And the texture and solidity of what's underneath you. And noticing what comes up in the body when you think of the word boundaries. What sensations are there? And thinking to your life, is there any area right now that you can see needs a boundary? And if you're watching in the future, feel free to pause, to take your time. So, how do you know that you need to have this boundary? How does the body know? And is there any suffering around not creating boundaries? And what is that suffering like in the body? Would it be okay to become curious around that? Really feeling into what's underneath you, feeling the breath in the body as we do this exercise. And you can also rest in the sounds in your space. So, when you think about the times in your life when this boundary was crossed, how did it feel? What emotions or sensations arise? And if it feels supportive, you can put a hand on that area to support that sensation if it's unpleasant. And how does that feel in the body to offer yourself support? Maybe there's a contraction in the chest, the neck, the jaw, maybe somewhere else. And if it feels supportive, you can mindfully move the body, feeling the chair, the seat underneath you, and letting your eyes see as far as they can see in the space in front of you. Locating yourself in the room and taking some big breaths, because the subject of boundaries can be a bit activating for some of us. So, why do you need this boundary? Is it possible you could explain the why of the boundary to the person you need to speak with or the people? This can be illuminating for them and help with their understanding of why you need the boundary. And could it be possible to be transparent around the fear or discomfort around setting this boundary? Would that be possible to radically acknowledge those things as you ask for the boundary? Just accepting that. But it may be uncomfortable to ask for what you need. And perhaps this boundary isn't with another person, perhaps it's with yourself. Perhaps you're overly generous with people, or you're under generous with yourself. Just thinking about this for a moment. And remembering that self-care is an act of revolution. If you made this boundary, what would that feel like? Would it bring peace and ease, safety to this body? Do any emotions, thoughts, or images arise when you think about making this boundary? Are there any sensations that come into the body around making this boundary. You can check with curiosity what's arising. And you can show your body you care right now if you like, giving yourself a squeeze, or showing your body that you care about you and that you've done the best you could so far in this lifetime. Maybe people pleasing was a coping skill, survival strategy, and boundaries weren't something you felt able to do. But could we make this boundary, or could you make this boundary with wisdom, care, and love in your heart for yourself and the other person? Could we actually deepen our connection with others through boundary making? And what would it be like to successfully implement this boundary that we've been thinking about? If you could imagine the boundary in place, what would that change in the body? Is there a shift in your breathing? Maybe a relief, an ease, a safe feeling of safety? Really letting yourself enjoy how it would be if this boundary was in place. And what sensations are changing? What thoughts and emotions are arising? And how are things shifting internally? And how would they shift in your life externally if you made these boundaries? Letting the mind become clear and still with a strong boundary. Maybe there's a feeling of spaciousness or warmth or something else. And just letting yourself enjoy this boundary and how it helps your body move towards health and ease and wholeness. Straightening the spine and sitting in your dignity with your boundary. So if the body needs to move in any way, you can slowly shake or move. You can swipe. That feels good. And thinking about the action that you can take towards making this boundary, making that clear, simple request. And what would that look like? So thank you so much for joining me here today for Friday meditation. I'll be here next Friday, and there's lots of other people giving meditation in French and English on the True North Insight YouTube. You can subscribe so they come up on your devices if that feels supportive. If not, no worries. Down below is the Dana links to Sangha, links to retreats. There's an amazing retreat coming up this weekend. If you have time, if you have a free weekend with Dawn. So I invite you to that. I went last year. It was fantastic. So yeah, I'm wishing you a beautiful week ahead. And if you have a chance to make this boundary or other small boundaries, may it bring you health and ease and peace to your body and as well as safety. So thanks again for joining me. Thank you for your practice. I really enjoyed doing the research for this one. So let me know how it was in the comments below or send me a message. All right. Thanks, everyone, and take care. Bye.